Sustainability is
repurposing used materials,
catch and release fishing.
Sustainability is
recycling cans and bottles.
a 6-syllable word.
Thanks to the release of the Sustainability Merit Badge at National Jamboree, we wanted to show you how Camp Emerald Bay has made sustainable practices, construction, and education a central part of our identity.
Conservation has always been at the core of the mission and methods of the Boy Scouts of America.
Scouts spend time outdoors at every point in their development and make service and conservation projects important parts of their advancement.
That's why we're so excited that the Sustainability Merit Badge is being introduced at the National Jamboree.
Santa Catalina is a desert island 20 miles off the coast of Los Angeles. Because we're removed from the mainland's infrastructure, we rely on rainfall as the primary source of fresh water. Yet we receive less than 16 inches of rain annually. That rain recharges the aquifer that we draw our water from in the neighboring cove. Every drop of water that we use for cooking, drinking, showers, sinks, and appliances comes from that source. If we draw water from the aquifer at a quicker rate than it can be replenished, the pressure gradient of our aquifer drops, which allows salt water to rush in and contaminate our fresh water. This is called saltwater intrusion.
As our camp grew to serve over 13,000 campers each year, we realized we'd have to change our water consumption in order to continue to operate.
We began recording our daily water usage using smart meters. We were shocked to learn that we were using over 3 million gallons of water each year.
These meters relay information online in real time so we can respond to leaks faster and identify where and how often water is used.
We have created a camp culture of conservation through education and technology, like our dual flush toilets, which use less water for number 1 and more water for number 2.
Okay, so when you pull up, you're using 1.1 gallons, and when you push down, you're using 1.6 gallons of water.
How much did that use?
1.1 gallons.
Dude, you just saved a half a gallon.
How much does Chuck Norris use?
Guys, Chuck Norris doesn't use water. Chuck Norris uses a waterless urinal.
In 2006, before we began major conservation measures, we released 134 metric tons of carbon into the environment in electrical and propane use. By 2012, after 5 years revving up our conservation program, we had reduced that to 94 metric tons of carbon. That's over a 30% decrease in our carbon footprint by replacing appliances and encouraging a culture of conservation. Go team!
One of our largest expenditures is our barge, which we use to bring all of our materials to the island. These trips not only burn a large amount of fossil fuels, they're expensive. The only way that we can reduce these trips is by reducing both the amount of materials we bring in and the garbage that we ship out. So we set out to do just that.
A waste audit is the process of going through your household garbage to see what kind of trash you create.
It's a great way to get your family involved in conservation at home.
First, make sure you have a representative sample of garbage. A good place to start is a bin that's used by a variety of people.
Next, divide your sample into all the categories that you want to measure. In our case, that's going to be recyclable waste, food waste, and everything else.
Recycling. Other. Food.
Finally, measure the volume of each type of waste. We use volume because some types of waste weigh more than others.
After doing our waste audit, we found that 25% of our trash was food waste, which we could compost instead of sending across the ocean. Composting is great because the earth does most of the work for you. First, start collecting compostable material, like fruits and vegetables. As long as it's not meat or dairy, it can be put in the bin. Next, break everything up into really small pieces so the creepy crawlies can get in. The final result is called humus, a rich organic material that can be used to supplement the dry, clayey soils on Catalina.
Almost half of the nation's energy goes to the construction and use of buildings.
A sustainable building conserves resources for future generations.
We do as much construction as possible with recycled materials so that we don't have to transport new materials across the channel.
Sometimes the materials you need for a project are right under your nose.
This bridge!
And this pirate ship!
We're built entirely from lumber that we salvaged from an old pier that we tore down, so building them created minimal waste.
Thank you for joining us to see how we thrive in our environment.
We hope our solutions can give you ideas as you work on the Sustainability Merit Badge.
Join us on the cutting edge of green technology and practice.